Welcome everyone, my name is Mr. 12 Chris, and welcome to Battlefield 3. Yeah, I know, I joined this one a little bit late, considering the game's been out for over 18 months now. Well, the reason I'm actually showing you this is because I was playing on PS3, that's what I've been playing on for all of that time since the game came out, and I've clocked about 8 days of in-game gameplay time. And I've got about 13,000 kills and lots of, points and stuff like that. And recently, mainly because I was sick of playing it on the PlayStation, I thought I'd go for a different experience, and I purchased it on the PC. And that's what you're seeing right now, actually. My aim is a little bit off on occasion, so please excuse that. But what I want to talk about is actually the differences between the PS3 and the PC version. Now, a lot of you probably know the basic stuff, better visuals, player count, blah blah blah. But I just want to go over the main stuff that you will come across if you was to purchase this game now. And I just want to give you the truth, really, about what it was for me as an experience for this game. Because I think a lot of people, I wouldn't say they overhyped it. It is a really good game, but I think some people exaggerate the difference between the two. Battlefield 3 on the console and then on the PC. So first of all, the visuals. Now, the visuals is the main reason a lot of people buy a PC, because the visuals are always better on a PC for the most part, unless it's like a console and PC game like this is. But for the most part, looks a lot better on the PC anyway. But some games, they look about the same on both because they're just not built to be graphically amazing. But the thing is, that's the reason most people get the PC, and Battlefield 3 is no exception when it comes to the visuals. It looks really, really good. But it's not just the visuals which is what makes this game look really good, it's also the fact that, unlike the consoles, it runs on a higher frame rate. Like, I'm running this footage at the moment at 60 FPS. Now, obviously the video only plays back at 30 FPS because it's a YouTube video. But if you ever get the opportunity to experience 60 frames per second gameplay, then please go ahead and do that, because it is amazing. And the problem with YouTube videos is it doesn't play at 60 frames per second, it only plays at 30, it makes sense, and it's to do with, if you play something at a higher frame rate in a video, it looks a bit strange. It doesn't make sense to you if you've been playing at 60 FPS, because you'd expect it to look the same in a video, but it doesn't really look the same, unless you tweak it too much. If you've ever seen The Hobbit, which played at 2 times the frames per second it normally does, because most films play at 24 frames, and the film played at 48 frames per second, it does look a bit weird. So, yeah, that's just an example of what happens if you play at higher frame rates. But, yeah, if you play this game at 60 FPS, your aim's better, it looks smoother, it's clearer, and overall it just makes the visual experience a lot better. Gameplay. Now, the main aspect that changes the gameplay of the PC version compared to the console version is the player counts, because you have a much higher variety in the amount of people you can have on each map. For example, you can have 16 players, 24 players, 32, 48 or 64 players. It's really up to you. This current gameplay here is 48 players on Scene Crossing. The next bit of gameplay you're going to see is 64 player Metro Conquest, which might add is absolutely crazy. It is the most crazy game match I've ever played, and yeah, I don't think I've really captured the craziness of it in the footage I showed. Not this clip, sorry, the next one. But it is absolutely crazy. It's explosions and bullets flying everywhere. But yeah, that is one of the main game changers for the PC, is the fact that there's so many more players. It allows for more kills, more points, more vehicles. If you play the Armored Kill DLC or the Endgame DLC, the maps are genuinely more playable, because the player count actually makes sense in terms of you can actually just play the game and there are players around. The problem I had with Armored Kill and maps like Caspian Border, Operation Firestorm on Conquest, is that you never really see people, which can get really annoying when you're trying to play a first-person shooter and you're not getting to shoot at anything. So if you want to play the bigger maps, the PC version is definitely for you. Now, the map design itself, there's no differences in the map design, so don't let anyone fool you with that. When people say there's more flags in the Conquest modes, what they mean is, in Conquest Large or Conquest Assault Large, what happens is there's just extra 2 or 3 flags. So it if you're playing on 64 player Conquest Large, it basically spreads out the amount of people by making more flags, and it kind of makes things a bit more interesting. It plays a little bit differently and a little bit better in my opinion. So that is probably one of the better game modes if you want to play Conquest with a lot of players. Otherwise, you might want to stick to normal Conquest, but it can get a bit crazy on 64 player normal Conquest. So as you can see here. Now obviously it depends on the map, because Metro is a very compact map, whereas if you play on I don't know, Caspian Border, things tend to get a bit more spread out, so it's I don't know, it's really up to you, but it does. I like the thing I like about the PC is it gives more of an option on how you want to play your game. And if you got the Close Quarters DLC on the PS3 and the Xbox, it's capped to 16 players, but on the PC version, you can go as high as you want, as far as I know. I was playing in a 32-player match the other day on a squad deathmatch, and what we did, it was on Operation 95. You don't know what that map is? It's like the car park map, and essentially you get into a squad of like 8. And we were just like, there's 4 different teams, and our team won because we stuck as a team and worked together really well. But it was really enjoyable. Now I'm hoping this clip here captures the amount of explosions that are occurring, and look at how many heal points I'm getting. It was absolutely crazy. Now, if you're looking to play Squad Rush and Squad Deathmatch, actually, while I'm on the subject of Squad Rush and Squad Deathmatch, the good thing about the PC version is you get more players, so you get a bigger squad. And where there are more players in general, you can just play the map a little bit differently. So instead of like Team Deathmatch, where you just have one team and another team, it's like 4-team Team Deathmatch, and I really like that. It's a different element that most games don't offer. I mean, I know COD Black Ops 2, offers the multi-team game mode, but I really like the idea that you get 4 teams going up against each other, and on different maps it plays differently, and I really like the way the mechanic works in the PC version. Now, on a final note, if you are looking to play the DLCs themselves, that means that I'm not talking about Close Quarters and Back to Karkand, because to be honest, on the PlayStation they worked fine. But if you're looking to play Armored Kill, Endgame, or Aftermath, I find they play a lot better on the PC. Now, personally, I never actually bought the DLCs on the PlayStation, simply because I knew they wouldn't play very well. And I was tempted to buy Aftermath actually, but after watching footage of other people playing it, it kind of put me off. So I never actually bought those DLCs. I only got Back to Karkand and Close Quarters, and they do play pretty well on the PlayStation. Now here's where the PlayStation excels. The thing about the PlayStation is, where you got less players, it kind of forces you to play. I don't know, it's weird, it's hard to explain. In the PC version, everything is crazy on 64 player, like Metro Rush. Everyone's all over the place, laying on the ground, grenades flying and shooting each other. There's barely any tactics. It depends on the map, obviously. I mean, if you're playing at Death Valley from Armored Kill, there's a lot of tactics involved. You've got to position your vehicles in various places. But on the compact maps like this, although craziness 64-player Metro Conquest is absolutely hilarious and really fun, it can get a bit dull. I mean, this match itself had 1,200 tickets. So we were sitting there for a long time, just sitting, watching a doorway, waiting for them to run in, and it can get a bit dull. Whereas on the PS3 version and the Xbox version, the cool thing about it was, where there's less players, there was more of a kind of movement on the maps, you know. You had to play a bit more tactically, because you knew that they're playing in tactical positions. There's no charge in and getting blown up or shot. It's all about getting in cover and positioning bipods in the correct positions and stuff like that. So that is where the PlayStation did really well. Now, another annoying thing about playing on the PC, you see that on the top left there, that little chat? Yeah, that is supposed to be used for notifications and teamwork. So, you know, you can notify your teammates where people are, what's going on, stuff like that. Give them orders, see if people agree. But the problem is, in the PC version, it gets spammed with admins telling you stuff like, hey, this guy's got a 5-kill streak, this guy's naff, this guy. And it kind of gets a bit annoying. And they also auto-balance a lot. The more players there are in a match, the more they auto-balance, which is really annoying. So yeah, I find that the chat gets a bit annoying, and the admins are definitely more active in the PC version than they are on the PlayStation. I found on the PlayStation, although you do get killed and move to the other team, like occasionally, I wouldn't say it happened very often, it does get more, it is a bit more present in the PC version, so that can be a bit annoying, because you're playing and you're happily getting lots of kills and stuff, and the admin's like, oh, he'd be a good asset for the other team, and they move you over, which I think is a bit, I'd like to say, unfair, because if your team's working well, why auto-balance it? I mean, if you want to work with your team as a team, and you're doing well because you're working as a team, then the admin shouldn't be like, oh, I've got to make it a fair game. No. If you're doing really well, you're doing really well because your team and you are working together really well, and that's why you're excelling over the other team. So I find that the admins can sometimes make decisions which are just, they kind of ruin the gameplay, and it can be really annoying. Now, overall, I would say that PC is definitely the better system to play Battlefield 3 on, and I'm really looking forward to Battlefield 4. I cannot wait. But yeah, I wouldn't say the PS3 version is bad. I'll just say that some of the maps just don't work on the PS3 and the Xbox version, simply because there's just not enough people to fill the maps. Whereas on the PC, you can regulate how many players you want. You want to play Death Valley? Screw it, put it on 64 players. You want to play Metro? Put it down to 32 or 24. It works just fine. But you know, that is one of the downsides of the current gen consoles. But wouldn't be surprised if they sorted that out with the next consoles. You know, added the full player count that they currently have. Now, if you want to join me on Battlefield 3, then you can add me on Origin. I am under TheHotSalsa, which I'll put in the description of this video. And just a message to my subscribers: if you're wondering why I haven't been uploading as regularly as I used to, I've had exams, or my finals, for those of you in America, and I've really wanted to get a good grade in them, so I've been working really hard to get them, so I haven't had time for videos. So anyway, like, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. I've been Mustafa, over and out.